chicken, ivermectin. Nothing tastes wiser than a horse performer. Straight up, that's what we learned from our advisors like Joe Rogan. He's the man with no remorse. Got COVID, beat it, strong as a horse. We don't think that much of Dr. Fauci. The needles make us grouchy because they're way too powerful. Hell no, we will never vaccinate. So instead, this propaganda will regurgitate. The plan is the fan is sparked into a flame. But demonstrated that, let me spit out my game. It is the A-N-D-I-V-A-X. We are gonna start our next. All the people thinking like the GOP, there's nothing in this earth to hurt you or me. Essentially, we all want to let things be. No mask in the land of Hannity. Libertarianism, that's the key to our new Republican century. Answer me, hard right down on bended knee. Before Trump and this philosophy of me. I will lay down my life if it sets us free. Eventually, you'll all get my malady. I'm not gonna get that shot. No, I'm not gonna get that shot. I'm just like my party, I can do whatever tells me, and I'm not gonna get that shot. He's not gonna get that shot. He's not gonna get that shot. He's just like a party of Fox News voting, and he's not gonna get that shot.
Obstructionists. And no one can obstruct. Quite like Mitch McConnell, and as he and his wife Elaine Chao will tell us, it's all about Mitchcraft.
That sparse and graying hair, that blank, impassive stare, that strips all conscience bare, it's Mitchcraft. DC has no defense for it, his chill is too intense for it, won't show a precedent for it too. 'Cause it's Mitchcraft, wicked Mitchcraft. They're my rules, you fools, now simply taboo. Full partisans, the door for me. Democracy's a chore to me. Proceed the way I'm ordering you. The filibuster's great. Who needs to legislate? He's got our tax cuts, now he's through. 'Cause it's Mitchcraft, crazy Mitchcraft. My show so low, dissent is taboo. Oh, Joe thinks he'll cut a deal with me. My dear, that's so last century. Checkmate is what I'm leading you to. He imitates a mule. Red states give me the tool. He's got the vote. I rule, not you.
Seems to nod and wink at our next guests.
Please welcome Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor-Green, and Paul Gosar.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together kooky, the morons on our team. Our party is the Nut House, more nuts than Richard Milhouse, and who will own the White House? The morons on our team.
Lauren Boebert.
My name is Lauren Boebert,
Gomer. I hope nobody gets hurt when I load my M16. I brandish guns for Christmas. It makes the liberals grimace. They think that it's a sickness that I love this here machine.
Marjorie Taylor-Green.
I think vaccines are evil, as bad as the illegals. My outlook is medieval. I'm Marjorie Taylor-Green. The Dems hate my bravado. They say my tweets are nuts, so they'll send out the gazpacho, cause they're just really mean.
Dr. Paul Gosar.
I used to be a dentist, but now I'm Trump's apprentice. The Dems think I'm a menace. I'm Paul Gosar, that's right. They say that I'm a racist, cause I spoke at a conference. But race makes no damn difference, so long as you are white.
The morons on our team.
The tweets are sort of loony, their intellect is puny. They bring in lots of money, the morons on our team. Oh yes, they're so bombastic, our basement's room's fantastic. There's nothing problematic about the morons on our team. Yes, there's nothing problematic about the morons on our team.
You said the election is lost and it just cannot be overturned. You said Trump's politically dead and could never, no, never return. But what now? Republicans miss me so much when I went away. So I'll take a bow. Remember I won the election. I'm your man.
Oh no.
I'll be back. Soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. I'll be back in 24. You'll be sorry that you showed me the door. Biden lost. MAGA won. The election still can be undone. And when push comes to shove, I will send a lightly armed militia to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. Donald Trump. Da 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 da. Donald Trump. Da 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 da. Donald Trump. Da da da. You say Joe Biden's failing. You can't go on. So I will take the reins and complete my cause. And we'll be reunited unless I get indicted. And you will be my subjects, my sweet submissive subjects, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise, and you'll love me till your dying days. I know them think I'm mad, but don't believe anything they said. Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your quaint democracy to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. Donald Trump. Da 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 da. Donald Trump. Da 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 da. Donald Trump. Da da. Everybody.
Da 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 da. Donald Trump.
Da 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 da.
I'm Susan Page, the Washington Bureau Chief of USA Today.
Yeah, Susan.
And I'm the QAnon shaman. Well, I am that for now. But I'm Ken Strickland. I'm the Senior Vice President and Bureau Chief for NBC News.
All right.
Ken and I are here to perform two essential purposes. The first is to give you a recap of the speeches from last night.
And the second is to give our cast time to change. Some of us didn't have time to change out of our costumes. Other people got to change their life.
We are fulfilling a task that has been performed for many years and better by our Gridiron brother, Mark Shields, who is with us today. It took two of us to succeed him, but we could never replace him. Mark, thank you so much for all you have done.
Mark. I would say it's big shoes to fill, but if you look at my feet and you look at Mark's, I think I can fill them in that regard. With Susan's, I think we're going to be okay. But Mark, thank you so much. The first person to speak among our guests was the governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu. And he did a lot of interesting and funny things, but one of the things he did, and I'll just tease it for now, is he may have said a little gridiron history with some colorful language. So the governor pulled no punches. The QAnon shaman is not very organized. The governor pulled no punches, and he directed his fire at everyone. His party, his fellow speakers, Democrats, even your beloved press. And we are still beloved here, right?
Yes, you are.
He told us he met Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin, who was a speaker later on. He said he had met him for the first time yesterday. He acknowledged Raskin's role as one of the impeachment managers. And the governor says, "Is that the right title? You people have so many impeachments, you need a manager? That's ridiculous." It didn't take long for the governor to also go after what he called the crazy in his own party. So this is where it kind of got a little crazy for the audience as well. So let me kind of set up what's going on. So the governor's trying to make the point that people are always coming down on former President Trump, and he's trying to say it's not really that bad, or at least he's leading us to believe that. He says, you can't dismiss their passion, you can't dismiss the sense of integrity he brought to the office. People like to pick on his tweets, and some of that is, there's some rationale for that. And you have to admit, he's probably going to be the next president of the United States. And so, of course, the crowd is thinking what you're thinking. And he says, no, I'm just kidding. He's blanking crazy. It wasn't frickin'. It was something else. So then he went on. So we think that goes into the history books for the Gridiron history. Mr. Condon, you could let us know if that's the case. Our Senate historian who spoke earlier. Then he went on to say, look, the press often asks me if I think Donald Trump is crazy. And I'll say it this way. I don't think he's so crazy that you could put him in a mental institution. But I think if he were in one, he ain't getting out. He said this about Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas's wife, Jenny Thomas. We know she may be extreme, but let's face it, when it comes to texting, she's no Anthony Weiner. Then he moved on to Senator Ted Cruz. And he was talking about, as you guys know, living in Washington, how the senator had engaged in the People's Convoy, the truckers, and he says, you know these guys, these truckers, they've been blocking things, they've been annoying people, nobody really knows why they're in Washington in the first place, which pretty much describes Ted himself. Then he went after your beloved media and press and says, when he talked about CNN, which he defined as the Cuomo News Network. You got Andrew, you got Chris, you got the Zucker guy, you got Zucker's girlfriend at CNN who wants to work with Governor Cuomo. I mean, journalistically, it's like the movie Deliverance, right? Everybody was all mashed together. Okay, we'll stop it there. But then he gave us some insight and said he had some insight into what the Cuomo brothers may be making a comeback. He says, I'm putting my money on reality TV. Like the Cuomos moved in with the Kardashians. And now people have said, you would watch, you would absolutely watch. Susan, would you watch? We would absolutely watch. And then, because his name is often mentioned as a possible presidential candidate for 2024, Governor Sununu admitted that he might be criticized for having little experience in international affairs. He says, I probably need some foreign affairs experience, although I do have Bernie Sanders. And dealing with communists just to the west in Vermont, frankly, that kind of counts. And then he added he also had immigration experience. And also, don't forget, I do share a border to the north with Canada. I have to deal with serious issues up there too. So like a real Republican, I actually built a wall. It's very nice. It's made of birch. It's about this high. You know, people say, well, they're just gonna jump over the wall. And then he says, they're Canadians. You just put a little sign that says, don't climb the fence. It's totally good. It works absolutely without a doubt. Those were the synopsis of the governor's remarks.
I don't care if I live or I die. I don't mind if you just said you pick someone else's next EP, 'cause I don't love him and he don't. Show me the blue shade day that man's hooked up to the MAGA hat, wearing fan, nodding all of the time, standing by his side. Doing anything else would have been suicide. You can toss all those bones, so if you're the guy who can change the results, you wouldn't leave me alone. And I had to flee from the angry mouth, 'cause they don't love me. I got a problem, told that go. Stood by the man calling hate love. We made a vow to stay loyal friends. How could I know that promises end? For years upon years, I'm finally finding my spine. But the saddest thing is, you'll surely see, is I'd still love him if he just loved me. I got a problem, can you relate? I love a man who loves nothing but hate. Only a fool would stay loyal friends. I should have known that promises end.
Ding.